Good evening, dear friends. I hope you're all doing well. Here is today's Daily Mitzvah for Tuesday, the 56th day of learning through the Sefer HaMitzvahs, the Book of Mitzvahs of the Rambam. And we are in the middle of the Yom Tov of Pesach. And today we have two mitzvahs and a bonus, as you'll see. Mitzvah number one for today is the positive mitzvah that when it comes the night, the eve of the 15th of the month of Nisan, as at the beginning of the night, one should share and speak of the story of the Exodus of Egypt, Yetzias Mitzrayim. Each person should tell the tale to the best of his ability. If you're more eloquent, then do that. Use whatever gift of speech you have and do your best. The more you could speak and the more you could share, and the more elaboration you can give to sharing the story, the better. You should speak about how great the miracles Hashem did for us were. Speak about the evil that Egypt has done to us, how they oppressed us, and how God paid them back. And we should give thanks to Hashem for all the kindness that He has given us. The more you do that, the better. And this is what it says in the Haggadah, Kol hamayrech l'saper b'yetzias Mitzrayim harei ze meshubach. The more that one shares the stories of Yetzias Mitzrayim, the more praiseworthy that is. Now, the Rambam says that this mitzvah can only be done on this specific date, on the 15th of Nisan, and only when it's actually evening, because the mitzvah can only be fulfilled when you have matzah and maror, the components of the Seder, in front of you. You can't just say the story, you have to have the Seder components in front of you, and over the table, over the Seder plate with these components. That is how you can do the mitzvah, which is why it is extremely important that the Seder is actually only done after nightfall. And especially here in Detroit, it's sometimes a little bit more difficult. Nightfall is a little bit late, especially when it comes, April time. But it's still a big priority that we do this mitzvah properly. And then we should only actually start the Seder, which is eating the matzah, eating the maror, and telling over the story, only after nightfall, so like that we can do the mitzvah. And the Rambam says that, where does this mitzvah come from? The verse says, V'higadata levincha b'yom hahu, and you shall tell to your son on that day, tell him the story. And the Rambam says, but even if you don't have a son, even if you don't have children, and the children can't ask the manashtana, and you can't say the story as a response to their question, it doesn't matter. Even if you're alone, even if you're only with a spouse or with other adults, ask the questions to each other. And even if you're alone, there's a mitzvah to verbally share the story. And as the Rambam concludes with this mitzvah, quoting the Haggadah, the words of the sages in the Haggadah, Afilu klanu chachamim, kulanu nevainim, kulanu yedim esatayra, mitzvah alein l'saper b'yetzias Mitzrayim. Even if we are all wise, even if we are all very knowledgeable, even if we know the entire Torah, it is still a mitzvah upon us, upon every single Jew, to say and share the story of Yetzias Mitzrayim. That is mitzvah number one. And from there, the Rambam actually goes into sharing with us the text, the liturgy of the Haggadah. And the Rambam says this is the liturgy, the text of the Haggadah, as the Jews have accepted upon themselves in the times of exile. And this is it. So the Rambam wanted to record as part of his code of Jewish law that it should be a complete repository of all of Jewish tradition, all the laws, including the exact text of the Haggadah, which is what we have over here. And I'm, of course, not going to be sharing with you all the whole text of the Haggadah, or else we're going to be here a whole night. And with that, so that was the bonus. And with that, we have our final mitzvah, making our way to our next holiday, the Yom Tov of Rosh Hashanah, the beginning of the year. And here we have the mitzvah that we are commanded to hear the sound of the Shofar on the first day of Tishrei, which is Rosh Hashanah, as the Torah says, Yom Teruah Yeh Lachem. This shall be a day of horn blowing. And that is a mitzvah, to hear the Megillah on Rosh Hashanah. So dear friends, here we have the daily mitzvah for today. Have a wonderful evening, a wonderful day ahead. We'll see you soon for our next daily mitzvah, and Sei gesund.